shortcomings. Firstly, Coach, I'll start with you. Your thoughts about the display of your team today?
Disappointing is a word that comes to my mind easily. The two goals that we gave up from just a straight ball down the middle, and we had indecision by the three centre halves. It put us on the back foot very early. All right? There are persons that we anticipated would have taken us to another level. That didn't happen. When we made the changes, we came into the game, but Cavalier defended stoutly. We expected that from them in the first place, and they proved that they're a very good defensive team.
It's all right, same for you.
Yeah, as Coach said, I mean, it's very disappointing. I think it's a lack of communication as well from all three of us, but we will be our better keepers, and going forward we work on it.
We can open up for questions.
Coach, can you shed some light on the early substitution? What was behind those?
The early substitution, we never knew that Nelson had an injury carrying, and it was obvious in the game where he started to hop, and we realized that was a problem. We had to pull him out. The other one was the other substitution was the midfielder, right? And the Topi had gone on a yellow card and was on his way to a red card, so we had to make that substitution there. And it changed the game. In the second half, we rearranged our system, our approach to the game. We started to get significant amount of the possession. But Cavalier is a difficult team to break down, right? And without that exceptional striker with movement, it was always going to be difficult. We tried on to the very last, but we just couldn't break them down.
Yes, Coach, as I mentioned earlier to Mr. Steve, Cavalier seemed to get behind their defense quite a lot in the first half. Any thoughts on how you
Well, that was a long ball coming straight out to the middle, and as I said, the indecisiveness of the three defenders. If one basically pressured and the other covered, it would have been a simple ball to deal with. But when you look at the ball, you saw the striker getting in between the three and just placing the ball in the corner, right? And not surprising that the two goals came from a similar situation, right? But once we were able to change that, that option was not available to them again. But as we say, we just couldn't break them down.
Coach Arata,
Yeah.
in the pre-game press conference, you talked about Jay, and you said that where the team is at now
Yeah.
is what they're going to use to play the game, and that may carry through the game today.
Yeah.
Is it gelling the problem?
That is part of the problem, because one of the challenges we have today was a language barrier. We're trying to get instructions to a particular strike, and he was just not responding because of the language, So that is a challenge, but we hope to address that or to improve that shortly.
Coach, what was the game plan?
The game plan was simple. We try and keep the ball from Cavalier, and that worked. But when Cavalier got the ball, Cavalier played some long balls right through the center of the defense, and if you make those slip away, you're right behind the 8 ball from them. We were 2 goals down at that time. We changed our system, and we tried very much to counter them. And we got significant possession in the game in the second half, but it wasn't good enough against a well-coached defensive unit, all right? Without a striker that we anticipate would have had.
Coach, despite the lack of striker, do you think that the midfielders will have done a little bit better with transportation is concerned?
The midfield could have done better, and if you notice, we pulled out one of them because if we kept going, one-dimensional, we'd not break this defense down. So we had to be able to move across to get more possession of the ball, so we could play to the strikers. We weren't able to do that because our midfielders just weren't as mobile as we anticipated. Anglin got significant percentage of the balls in that central midfield, but the question is, what was he able to do with it? He wasn't able to play through passes, so neither the strikers or the other 2 midfielders going forward. So that is a challenge we recognize as well.
How difficult to start
In any tournament, it is difficult to lose your first game, but it's not impossible to come back. We know the quality of the players. There are some things that we have to change, but the quality of the players are there. The motivation will be a great factor, because what we saw today wasn't a team as hungry as they should have been. All right?
How difficult was it defending against the PC winners from the Cavaliers?
As I said, they are a pretty good opponent. As I said, it's just lack of communication, and they were like more hungrier than us, like for the first and second ball. So that's what catches us.
Coach, what are you going to be doing about that midfield issue that you mentioned in terms of the fact that Anglin was getting a lot of balls, but was not able to make the two passes to the striker and all the pass?
Well, sorry about that. The movement or the mobility of the midfielders is critical. There is a sense that some might want it more than others. We have to find those that really want to be, the driving force in the attack there, with their movement and so on. We have players, but we still need some cutting edge work in the center, in our number 9. If the midfielders are getting ball, the movement of the number 9 will ensure that we move the ball forward into creative, deadly position. We never had that today.
Having said that, we can expect next week against Arlington that there will be significant changes.
There will be significant changes. One of the things we have to do is look at the players who are hungry for it. You hear Cavaliers' approach to the game. You have a group of youngsters who don't have the kind of reputation that our players have, but they're hungry. They want to make a name for themselves. We need to find the players who want to make a name for themselves, or even those who have a name want to improve their credibility outside there. So there will be changes.
Coach, how easy it is to keep these players in the squad happy?
The happiness, we spoke about that earlier this week, and Fitzroy will tell you that, listen, we can only have 11 players on the field at any one time. Which 11 depends on the performance of these players in training. If you don't perform, you won't be in that 11. It's as simple as that. So we look for the hungry players. And we try and use that as a motivation. Some will, some won't. All right? But that is the mindset going forward, that we are looking for the players who want to commit their self to the club and to the project that we have.
Mr. Cummings, as I say, you're in the defense. What would you suggest going forward to show up the defense in terms of more midfielders coming back to assist and the extra defender? What is your session for first?
As I just saw the second half, it was much better. Like, we got a lot of control over the ball, and the ball was moving and everything. And I think in the second half it was more communication and very compact going forward, and even in defense as well. So going forward, we just have to stay together and take it a day at a time.
Any other questions? Gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.